Good Friday morning, everybody. This is Grace, and I'm going to finally do a video I've been wanting to do for quite a long while. I might have said a few of these things before in other videos, but anyway, I want to say that, to start off with, that if you and I have commented back and forth to one another, you're not one of these people I'm talking about, because that kind of person I block. Okay, I just block them. I don't have time in my life for that kind of thing. I don't have any need, desire for it at all. I just block them. Now, it does kind of depend on the person. If I know that they're, this is about the know-it-all types. If I know if they're trying just to spread the word kind of thing, that's different. But anyway, let me get, before I get too far ahead, it is about the know-it-all types that I say it as plural because they do different ways. But it's kind of like on social media. Let me use YouTube as an example. Say I do a video on a topic that I have had experience in, and I always say that I'm not a healthcare professional or provider. This is just my opinion. From my experience, my opinion is my experience. Don't take it as counseling advice. And I'll say that, basically it's one size does not fit all kind of thing. So I do that, and now say somebody takes the video that I did, and I have to give my opinion, how I see things, but they come back and, leave a comment or even make their own video about it. And it's very, they're not saying the words "you're wrong," to me, but it implies it. And that they will write it in ways that it will imply that they know better, that I'm wrong, they know better, they're the only expert on it, and so listen to them. Like I said, some of them will actually go and make a video, a separate video, and their own channel, and the same topic to show that they are this so-called expert. First of all, there's no such thing as an expert. Nobody knows everything there is. They cannot possibly know everything there is about any particular topic. But they will put it off that way. Now, some people will think that me making this kind of disclaimer, like I did on this video and do on my other videos on any kind of topic along this line, is that I don't have confidence in myself. That is not true. That is not the truth to it. It's that I'm saying I could be wrong. This one size does not fit all, and that's a good thing to say. Okay, it shows I'm not being narcissistic about it. That my opinion is all that matters. I know everything because there is no such person, and situations are different. People are different. But the type that is the narcissistic type that does do this whole thing of leaving comments like they're the expert and you're wrong, and so on down that line, they will never give a disclaimer. In my experience, never give a disclaimer because they don't want anybody to think, oh well, she's not right. She might be wrong. No, they want them to think I am right, and that's it. Period. Listen to me, that kind of thing. Now, I'm not going to say that they never do anything because, there are exceptions to every rule, especially like, when they try to be humble, they might actually try it if they think that it helps them to manipulate people, especially like at first, and manipulate people to come in because they're humble kind of thing. No, eventually it'll come out that they think that, they know it all, totally know it all. And that's one of the kinds of, narcissistic know-it-alls that I've run across. And one of the things I did learn, and it's very difficult for me to do, even though I know to think this way, is to not see it. That is to not see it as they're trying to attack me personally. Because one thing that I've learned, it can be anybody. They are going to attack anybody just so they can look like they are, they get that attention they were looking for, that they are the know-it-all. They know everything. They are the voice of authority on it. Nobody else is because it's only their way. I mean, how many times have we heard this from narcissistic type people? You're wrong, I'm right, I'm the only one who knows it. And they don't usually say it that way, but sometimes they do. They'll find a way to do that. Now, the other type, well, let me say in person too. Now, I have run across somebody recently, and for a while, that was that type in person. And that's tougher because, like in anything, a person can go no contact, but there's always dangers and there's always, consequences there could be and everything. But as far as somebody, online, it's just easy. I mean, you just can block them. On most media, there's some kind of feature where you can block them. Now, they might be able to still watch you. They can get another account, that kind of thing. But still, you can keep blocking, blocking their comments and everything. And they might go and make other videos and spread rumors around. Yeah, with the people who know you, know them, eventually it comes out. My opinion. But in person, it's very different, especially if it's somebody you really can't, you can't really just get away from. It's like say somebody like I, have said before, like at a job or something like that, and they are the know-it-all type. They, and usually the things that I've seen this type do, it always tends to start off the same way. I'll be right back. I should probably mention this, that today I had a little bit of caffeine. I usually don't drink caffeine. Lately, I've been trying to introduce a little bit. I used to drink it way too much until like this past year, maybe. So if I'm kind of hyper, yeah. So, I can't handle the caffeine. I'm going to have to just totally go no contact with caffeine. But anyway, where was I? I have my notes here. Oh, I want to mention that one of the things that I was taught, maybe a lot of people were taught this from childhood on, that when somebody is that know-it-all type, or when somebody's being somehow offensive, that you basically like kind of play along, and you're nice and sweet, and something like that. You just kind of play along. You don't make any big statement or anything. But that it brings about a dilemma, because I don't agree with that. It brings about a dilemma in me. But basically, there are so many different ways to be able to say to someone, I disagree. I agree to disagree. That's one. But there's also the, like I said before, no contact of a gray rock or whatever. But it's all depends, a lot, in my view, on your personality, the situation. It might be different the way you treat one person who does this from another. We all wear different hats and different masks with different people. There's nothing wrong with that, unless, of course, you're doing the two-faced thing. That's a little different. But, generally speaking, we don't act the same way with every person that we run across. And like I said, in my view, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It took me a long while to agree to that way, or to see it that way. But yeah, so I'm going to get back to the narcissistic type. I just had to throw that in there. Okay. Now, if you're, what I was basically saying is, don't break your own rules. Don't break any laws. Don't break any, social rules, social laws. Don't hurt anybody, harm anybody, that kind of thing. You're going to react some way, and that just don't break your own rules, kind of thing. Anyway, as far as what starts off a person, somebody in person, and they can do this online too, but somebody in person, I've always seen it starts off something like this. Say I make a statement about, it could be about the weather, anything. And this narcissistic know-it-all kind, type would it usually starts off with something along this line. It's, well, actually, it tends to be the word actually, or something that means actually. And then they give their view, which is going to be totally different than yours, or it's going to be like they're giving a classroom lecture, like a professor would, and go way into detail about why it's this other way, and like they're so knowledgeable and you are not. And it doesn't matter. Sometimes it doesn't matter if anybody else is around, because they're setting up a scene, that they are the one who knows it all, the voice of authority on that topic. And the funny thing to me is, I was a career student. I learned a lot. I know a lot. I don't go around telling everybody I know a lot. I don't make sure that and when people have their opinions, that's their opinion. Unless they're hurting somebody or hurting me or somebody or themselves or something, that's their opinion. We all have our opinions. It's something. Now, if it's something hurtful, like I said, yeah, I will say something. But anyway, and some people, they might do this. They're just wanting to debate or discuss an issue, or something. And they might be a little awkward at first in the way they say it. But you really, if you know the person, it's different, But I also say, trust your gut. If, like whenever I read a comment, okay, I usually don't give people second chances, at all. I've learned my lesson. But if it's somebody I know, it might just be a bad day. But somebody I don't know and they come in, you know, both barrels blazing, that's an expression, you know, click, block. But in person, different, like I said. And usually I find no reason, in person, I find no reason to ever have anything to do with them again. You know, I just say, that's it. No, you know, no concern of mine, no friend of mine, so that's it. But I was on this topic and I got veered off the road. Caffeine not good for me. So anyway, I think this is, I was looking at my notes, see if I did everything. Yeah. But, you know, I was saying that, you know, people, they like to discuss debate. That's one thing. But when they're the know-it-all types and they just automatically jump in and say you're wrong, no. Anyway, that's my opinion. That's my views. You know, just